Hi, it's me Zhrui from Brooks, the British Tech Guru. Now this unassuming little box contains the Chinese mini lathe that arrived the other day. So, I've already opened the box, so no big surprise there. Those two are my own screwdrivers that I brought just in case. First out of the box is this rather intriguing plastic base. Okay, next is this rather uninformative pamphlet or leaflet, flyer, which really does not tell me very much. Now, next out of the box is this, and we'll put this to one side. This is the power controller, and this produces 12 volts at 5 amps, and power cord, 2 sample bits, that's aluminium. Oh, and that's very nice. Haha, they have almost centered this one. Almost. That is centered, so and that's centered as well. So they've tried to make life easy. I think they're expecting people to put this together and have maybe one use out of it before moving on. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take this out from there, put it on the ground. We have this little packet which contains some very interesting bits and bobs. Let me see, an iron tool, a center ruler, a hand wheel kit, square nuts, M14 screws, a gasket, hex wrench. Okay, so this interesting little thing is a center tool, and you put it on there just like that, and that allows you to mark the center, and you can see how off they've got that. So they clearly didn't use this, but put that to one side for the moment. Next out of the box is the actual lathe itself. Now, is there anything else in the box? Oh yes, there is a tool. Okay, so is there anything else in this box apart from empty space? No, there is not. This is just empty space. So I'll put that down. Oh dear, somebody is ringing me. What is it? Oh dear. I'm sorry about the interruption. There was kind of an emergency I had to attend to, and of course my cell phone would not respond to my finger. That's the way it usually is in an emergency, so I had to go and find out what was going on and resolve the emergency. Anyway, that is the Chinese mini lathe, and this apparently sits on this base somehow. The instructions, such as they are, do not tell me how to attach it to the base. So, it is a little bit of a mystery. Let me see what I have in here. Maybe that will clear things up a little bit. I have an Allen key, I have a straight bar, I have another Allen key, I have a, what did they call that? They called it, I think they called that an elastic band. It's actually a drive belt. I have another piece of steel. I have these 3 sliders, which doubtedly Yes, that's how it fits. Let me see. Okay, so it's got three fittings, three screws. Okay, let's put this on, and that is one of the handle things, so we'll just put that, there we go. So I don't know whether you can see that, but I'm putting, let's move this a little bit closer to the center so you can probably see better. Now the emergency was her indoors. She's just had an operation and needed some emergency assistance, and of course my phone would not respond. Now that is just about typical for most cell phones. So I'll put this one, oops, and you're probably not seeing me too well, so I'll try and, oh dear, do this left-handed, just so that you can see that I'm dropping stuff everywhere, because I'm right-handed. Okay, I've got that into place. Oops. Okay, is that tight enough? Let's see if that one works better. No. Definitely better with this one. Okay. Then we'll do this one. That gives me my hand wheel controls. And there we go. Right. Now, I do not know why I have two washers. Absolutely no idea. Okay. So what we're going to do now is take those three screws out. This lot can all go back in the box. And apparently the text, whoops, the text on that is that way up. So it would probably make sense if that was also that way up. And I'm sorry, I'm blocking everything with my great big hand. That one goes there. There should be, I think, be 4 of these, but there are only 3 in reality. It would make more sense for there to be 4. So, let me just check. No, there are indeed just 3. Well, okay, and that must be why people attach them to different things. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to work out how to attach this. I'm going to turn the camera off while I attach this, because I'm going to be doing an awful lot of fiddling and you're not going to be able to see anything. Let's see, where is the... Well, I have I have just finished mounting this securely to this bit of plastic. I've never seen that done before. Now my initial impressions, and I'm feeling there, this cutting tool does not feel all that sharp. In fact, it's got a burnt end on it as if it's been used before. See if I can undo that. Oh my goodness. It is, I don't know if you focused on that, but that is significantly discolored, which makes me suspect this might be a return, which is probably why one of the screws was missing. I have heard that these tools are rather hard to find. Okay, now the other impressions of this, this is the tongue. That goes out quite nicely like that, but you get it out very far and it's very wobbly. Okay, so we need to wind it back a little bit to about there, and it becomes less wobbly, to there, and there's no wobble. So you can only pull that out about 1/4 of an inch, or half an, is that half an inch? Might be an inch. Probably about half an inch. This is a 3-jaw chuck, which is not really what you want. You want a 4-jaw chuck. If you're going to be turning anything, you need a 4-jaw chuck. This by the way is made of zinc, so this is not really suitable for anything other than soft metals. This is also zinc. That seems to work quite nicely, and that seems to work quite nicely. I like it. It is clearly limited. Now, a lot of people will do videos where they're trying to get the thing to cut steel. I would not try that. I would not even attempt to cut steel with this. I would just stick with operating soft materials like aluminium, wood and plastic. I have aluminium here, and this is designed to go in here. Oh, and I've remembered what those 2 bars are for. We'll open that, and these 2 bars, they go in here. Very unusual mechanism. Very unusual. In fact, this one doesn't really fit, so I'll have to use the Allen key. Okay, now we'll put that in, slide that into there. We can't. So we need to adjust this on the, but there are some screws on the back here that we will adjust if we can. These screws are going to have to be, these screws on the back are going to have to be replaced. Now, how do I move this thing back and fro? I wonder if I have to put that in there. Definitely an Allen screw in there. Oh yes. So we'll put that in there like that. We'll center that. But we'll center it the easier way, that way. And we need to tighten this. Let me find, no, it would have been helpful if those things had actually fitted. That's good and tight. And that is centered. So we're going to put this into here and tighten this. And then I'm going to tighten the screws on the back. And if I put power into this, we're ready to use it. This winds back and fro like that. And that winds that like that. Now I bought this particularly because this works off 12 volts, which is what I have in my motorhome. I bought this to work in my robotics lab. Whether it was a good purchase or not, I do not know. But I bought it to try it, and it was $150 or thereabouts. Worth it to try at the price, and I bought it quickly before the Trump tariffs bit. So that looks pretty decent. I have yet to try it, and I've got a milling machine on the way, and with that milling machine I might make the extra T-nut. So there we go.